All right, what's good? What's good? I am Frank Lee. I'm the host, Frank the host, and I am with BroVA. And we're talking about the new album that's coming out very soon. But also we're really just talking and finding out who BroVA is and letting people the world know that that you've been in the game for a while.
For a while, man.
For a while. So when did you start as an artist? Who was BroVA? When did you start? How long you been in the game? And let's work our way up to the current project.
Well, it's good, easy to have this conversation because I just had this conversation a day ago. Just talking about how I started. First, growing up in New York, you know, you're exposed to music. It's all around you, block parties, house parties. And I was exposed to music, well, hip-hop, through my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin, I thought he was a rapper, but he wasn't a rapper. He was just rapping at the time, and so I got interested then.
Mm-hmm.
But what really made me want to write and become an artist was, it was about 98, 99 when I heard DMX.
DMX.
When I heard DMX.
Yo, you're the second person.
Hey man, the album was...
As a recent.
Yeah, it's just, I felt like I could... I mean, I was a kid, you know, you always trying to find something you could connect to.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I kind of identified with the aggression. And I just thought his cadence, his voice, and emotion was just dope. I just wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my first rhymes, they all sounded like DMX.
Yeah.
They all sounded like DMX.
Were you barking?
Nah.
That's a good question.
Nah, I couldn't do it because I didn't want people to really think that I was trying to mimic DMX, but I was just really trying to find my voice at the time. I was probably 12 years old.
Okay.
So I had no real content, no real life experience except like playing with wrestling toys. But you know what I'm saying? But that was about it.
That's what's up.
That was about it.
Okay, so DMX, what other influences besides DMX that kind of like formed the rap style that you have right now, or you know when you were coming up in the rap game?
Right. Jay-Z. It was funny because that same summer when I heard Jay-Z, when I heard DMX, I was at the basketball court, and these older kids was rapping Jay-Z. And at the time, I was telling everybody, yo, DMX is the best rapper alive. And they rapping this rhyme from Jay-Z. I'm like, yo, it's kind of slick. Who is that? Mm-hmm. And it was Jay-Z. And that following summer, I discovered Volume 3. And that changed my life. That changed my life, like, as an artist. And, you know, you never know you don't know what's good music. You know, you just know what makes you feel good and what you can connect with. And I felt like I connected with it. It was he had the charisma. He had, you know, it just, you felt the truth in it. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that changed my life. And so I kind of started patterning my rap style around that, about being truthful, being honest about your surroundings. Because at that time, you know, people were rapping about, you know, the flashy thing. You know, you had the Mace era, you had all these things. Yeah. But people was rapping about, when you heard rappers rapping about honesty, like about not having things. Because before, you know, you rapping about what you got. But nobody's rapping about what they don't have and, you know, the deficiencies in their life. So I connected with that. And so that's kind of how I started my rhyme journey. So
cool.
It was dope.
So, like, you know, in the hip-hop game, you know, when you first start rapping, it usually start with a group of guys.
Right.
You know, what was that like? What was that crew? What was that first time? You remember that? Remember that first time?
You talking about like a crew that I listened to or that I became a part of? Well, the first crew was just me and my friend Day from the block. Mm-hmm. And we started writing together. And that's why I got my competitive edge, because we had no studio, no nothing. We kids, like, you think in your mind that, yeah, when I finish this rhyme, everybody's gonna hear it, but how? Nobody knows where a studio is. Yeah. And so all summer, man, we would just write rhymes and compare each other's rhymes and compete. And we became like a little crew, a little rhyming crew. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everybody in that little neighborhood knew that we rhymed, and we tried to battle and things like that. But my real crew came later in life, like, I think around 2001, 2002, with my man Drew and my man Dre, and we was straight gutter. That was the squad name. We was all hungry, I think Drew had just started rapping at the time, and Drew's a natural rapper. He's natural. I'm like more like it took work for me to become a good rapper, but he's more natural. And so, you know, we were a crew. We would record and we would put out music. We thought we was like local celebrities because we had a CD. You know what I mean? So if you had a CD in high school, you was hot. And so everybody knew who we were. So that was our rap crew, and you know, we didn't do that many shows, but we were making progress in the same thing. We would compete against each other in writing sessions. You know, that's how we sharpen our skills. So that was the first crew. That was dope.
That's what's up. I think that a lot of times in the crews, that's where you work on those your penmanship,
sure.
Your artistry, because everybody's challenging each other. You know? And so then you would develop you really develop your own style within that crew, like your personal sound in that crew at that time.
So everybody's trying to find their voice, and everybody's trying to outshine each other and trying to find their way to one up each other, not in a negative way, but like, you know, they're trying to find their own star within the group and their way to stand out. And so, you know, I was already competitive from writing with my friend, and so being with these group of guys, I know they had talent, and so, you know, we were hungry. We really wanted to make something of ourselves, so we would really go at it. And man, we made some good music. We made some good music at the time.
So as of now, like right now, you know, from that time to now, my question would be, what drives you now as a person is in hip hop right now, as a rapper?
It's a good question. What drives me now? I don't think I've done anything yet. You know what I mean? I've been rapping for a very long time, and I feel like I got so much to show. You know, so much to prove. Before it was about proving it to others and proving it to my peers. Now it's about proving it to yourself. You know, that's pretty much the theme of my project, and it's really proving it to myself because I'm a serial procrastinator. You know what I mean? I can dream up a vision. I can, you know, but when it comes to execution, that's my weak point. And so that's the thing right now that I'm trying to prove to myself that I can finish, that I can set a goal and accomplish it. And so just releasing this project and just the title of it all, it just kind of, you know what I mean, that drives me right now. I'm not worried about the things that happen after. It's like just achieving a goal. You know what I mean? It's like when you get your driver's license, like, man, I've been trying to get this driver's license for 2 years. I've been working on something. I don't feel the driver's ed test. Real facts. I feel the test, but like, so it's an accomplishment when you finally, right? Yeah. It was bad. So when you finally accomplish that goal, you feel like, you know, you can pound your chest a little bit, and internally, you know, nobody really cares about you, but you care, you know what I mean? So that's what's driving me right now, and the fact that I have the support of like my friends, my family, and my wife is one of my biggest supporters. She pushes me pretty much the most. And I thought I had friends that pushed me, which really pushed me, but she pushes me the most because, I mean, she sees the potential. And so, you know, now it's, you know, proving to myself, but also wanting to get these guys to, you know, see what they've been saying this whole time, for believing in me this whole time. So yeah,
that's awesome. I'm gonna say this right now, that when you have a woman who's all down, who's down for you and will push you, you're gonna go further than you expected, because she's bought in, and it's nothing worse than having a woman that's not bought into the vision that you have. And I just think that that's important, especially moving forward in this industry. Having that support from your wife is huge, man. Huge. Which brings me to my next question. So that's important. I want to know what's the top things that are important to you concerning the album, and then life and then album.
It kind of ties in. It's about influence, really, because, you know, a lot of things I talk about in my music is things that I've dealt with and deal with personally. And it's about influencing not just the youth, but influencing people that can relate to where I've been and where I'm at. A lot of things about self-esteem and self-worth and those things like that. That stuff is, you know, growing up, put on this bravado, put on this front, you know, because you have to, you know what I mean? Especially when you grow up and you're around, you know, black men, you have to put on this, you have to have this certain thing about you. And so you don't really get to doubt, like, who do you express those things to, right? If there's no father figure, if there's no, there's no male influences. So where do you go to express those things? And I always found that the music was a place where I can express those things. And so, that's pretty much, what hits home for me. And I really try to dig deep when it comes to my music, because that's the biggest thing about music, being able to connect with people. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to give you longevity, you know what I mean? And the greatest gratification is not hearing that, your line was dope, or, that's a dope double entendre or whatever. That's dope, but to say, like, yo, that song really impacted me, you know what I mean? That topic that you spoke on, like, I really was going through that situation. That's the most gratifying thing for me. Mm-hmm. And that ties into my spiritual walk, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because that's what helped me overcome a lot of the things, that I was going through and still go through to this day. Mm-hmm. But, I have a different perspective on it, you know what I mean? So those things, knowing that I came out of those things and saying I can encourage somebody else to come out of those things, that's what drives me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. This is a good question. Just thinking about, like, right now, if you, standing at this point, and when you first started, from now to then, what wisdom would you give the old BroVA?
Be consistent.
Be consistent?
Be consistent. Believe in yourself. Mm-hmm. And that was it took me a long time to believe in myself. You know what I mean? Even, like, up until this recent point, like, it took me a while, because you hear the validation from people, mm-hmm. but you really want to, like, feel like, man, I got this. Mm-hmm. And so I would tell myself, just be consistent, don't stop doing what you're doing, but also believe in yourself when it seems like no one else does. Mm-hmm. Because the one thing about being gifted or talented is there's the praise of it, but then there's the expectations of it. Mm-hmm. And so for me, there's a lot of expectations that you feel like you got to live up to because you have this talent or this gift. And from the outside looking in, I might be like, yo, you got this talent, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Mm-hmm. And I heard something that you said about, what people say about you and things like that, and you have to believe in your vision and believe in your goal. Mm-hmm. And that struck a chord, because that's the truth. Yeah. And so I found that to be one of the truths in my life, for real.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we talking album. Okay, we got this new album coming up.
Yes.
Our release date is
April 19th.
April 19th. That's official.
That's official.
April 19th, the new album's coming out. And the name of it?
All Ideas Die in the Grave.
All Ideas Die in the Grave. Now, talk to us about this.
Yo, all right. So that goes back to my perspective on trying to get those things that your talents, your gifts. Try not to let those things die, because, like I said, being gifted or being talented, there's that expectation. But sometimes that comes, procrastination comes, and, you may be at a place of being stagnant. Mm-hmm. And I'm a perfectionist. I like to make sure that everything's right. I like to prepare, but it's almost to the point where nothing gets done, because I do all this, like, I'm going to just wait. I'm going to wait till everything's right. You can't wait till everything's right? Because you never know how much time you got left. So I feel like I have, like, this is, for me, and I feel like it connects with other people, like, just do it. Just do what you're trying to do. Like, just release it to the world. Don't have no apprehensions about it. Mm-hmm. Because, once you die, that stuff, those ideas, those thoughts, those dreams, those things die with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the world, and I feel like your gifts are not just for you. They're for other people. It's for the world. And so if you never release those gifts to the world, like, you never know whose life you're changing, whose life you're impacting, as well as your own. But like I said, you don't know whose life you're changing. Mm-hmm. And so you got to get those things out. You can't be so in your own head that you don't do it, because it's the reality is it's just afraid of failure. Mm-hmm. You're afraid to fail in front of people. So you won't, I'm going to just hold this back. It's not right yet. It took almost 2 years to make this project. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, because I found my voice in the process, but it was a lot of setbacks, a lot of apprehension. Like, it's not right. It got to be perfect. Mm-hmm. There's this expectation. I'm this type of rapper. I gotta. And so you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and then what happens if it never comes out? You just a Brody with potential, right? So that's why I chose that title, because I know deep down inside, if this music never comes out, like, I don't want to be that 40-year-old, 50-year-old man that said, man, I should have dropped that, man, I should have did that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the premise.
It's good. Miles Monroe, I remember he said the greatest treasures aren't found in the bottom of the ocean. They aren't found in the coal mines where they find gold. The greatest treasures are found in the graveyard.
That's deep.
Because people die with their dreams and their vision, that they have their God-given dreams that God gave them. And
crazy.
So that blows my mind, because so many people, and procrastination is something that I think that some of us really do deal with.
Right.
And we want everything to be perfect and stuff like that. Honestly, everything's not gonna.
It's
like
never gonna be perfect.
When I found out about Michael Jordan, to tell you the truth, they said he only made like 30% of his shots in his whole career. But we consider him the greatest.
Know that, though.
You know, the greatest basketball player that ever played the game.
Right.
In order to score, you have to what?
You gotta take the shot.
You
gotta take the shot, man.
Yeah. So cool. All right. So you got the album. So now we got how many tracks on the album?
There's 9 tracks on the album. I try to like make it even, but it's just impossible. I'm a numbers guy, so I like everything to be like, oh, what does number 8 mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does the number 7 mean? I don't know what the number 9 means. It's just 9 tracks on this project, so I think I'm gonna keep it right there. Cool. 9 tracks.
So the whole concept of the whole this whole album and the people you work with, talk about all of that. So you talk about the title.
Right.
Like, talk about the people you work with and everything about the album.
Man, I got a great group of people. They're my family. Like, I've known these guys for over 20 years, and that sounds like some TV stuff. Mm-hmm. You never know until you look back like that. I know you're this long, man. But these guys, I think when I was getting to the point when I got back in the studio to finish this project up, I was working on something completely other than music. Mm-hmm. And my guy Humdy, he was like, yo, because he always believed in the music. And that was his biggest, like, yo, you got to get to the music. You got to get, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to work on these clothes. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm just doing a lot of things to distract myself from what I know I need to be doing. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, you got to do the music. And then him and my wife getting together is a problem now. Yeah. Now they tag team and like, yo, you got to get back into music. Yeah. And Dre's always been supportive. Like, yo, Dre's like the ultimate homie. He like, yo, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. Like, Dre been there thick and thin. Drew, another one from the rap crew to like family and personal things. Like, we connect on so many levels. That's like, these are my brothers. El Marquis, who I've only known for a few years, and he's the most genuine person, the most, giving person. Mm-hmm. And you be feeling like, dang, yo, I should be doing so much more for this individual. But, like, he has been mixing in engineering all my records for the past 3 years. Mm-hmm. And, yo, my brother, my Nonpareil, like, it's so much I can say with this dude. Like, that's my brother. Like, we argue, we fight, we agree, we disagree, but it's all to push each other. Like, we really believe in each other's talents and each other's gifts, and we want to see the best possible outcome, for each other. And Kent, yo, he's the standout. He's the standout. Ken is the homie, man. Ken is my white brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the, you know what I'm saying? He's the exceptional conduct. You know what I mean? So he's like, man, he really. One thing about Kent is he's a big believer in brotherhood, and I'm not used to the open love, right? Yeah. I love my brothers. I love my bros and stuff like that. You say that, you say that in a post. He's saying it out loud, like, yo, I love you, bro. And it's like for a person who's never heard that in a household, it's different, right? I just got to the point where I started telling my friends, yo, I love you. But that came from him because he's a big believer in expressing love. And I needed that, and he helped me become a better person as far as just expression and just sharing. Like, yo, if I love this man, it's my brother. Like, I would, I'd do anything for this guy. And so, you know, and the things that he's been going through and the things that he's been dealing with, that, you know, we formed a brotherhood outside of music, and he's produced 3 or 4 records on this project himself. So he's a talented guy in his own right.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm full of brotherhood too, man. I tell my tagline is, if no one's told you, I want to tell you, I love you.
Right. Yeah.
I say
people
don't say, and I tell everyone, people, strangers, yo, love you.
Right.
Love you, bro.
You don't know me, dog.
Nah, but some people
don't know me.
People don't hear love.
But they don't. It's
know
up.
it.
Yo, you know what I realized? It does make people feel uncomfortable. They don't know how to respond. Like, all right, I like you too. Like, yeah, one love, one love, one, or something like that. But they just don't know how to like internalize that. You know what I mean? Because you know they know people love them. You know, in their families and things like that. But they never like hear it on a regular. And yo, I'll be honest. I was at work. I used to work with my brother, and the guy there, he was like, "You would never tell your brother you love him." I'm like, "My brother know I love him. It's my little brother. My brother know I love him." He's like, "Nah, bro, you don't tell me you love me." Yeah. And so now, you know, I gotta go prove to everybody I love my brother by saying I love you. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, it's a good thing, man. But these are the people that, you know, help me be who I am as an artist and as a person, man. They keep me grounded.
Okay. Influences. What is? I don't know. I guess I'll ask this question: the influences that you have on this album, like what, you know, your sounds and stuff like that. Did you listen to anything? Where were you at? You know, with the whole album, like, yo, I was listening to this, or I kind of wanted my own style.
Right. I didn't really like think about it because really, I don't listen to a whole lot of music these days. I really don't listen to a whole lot. I listen to music in spurts. And I only listen to it for inspiration, not for imitation, right? I like to be inspired by production or something. Like if I hear dope cadence or like, I know I can mimic anything. That's easy, but it got to be true to you anyway. So this project took so long because I've always done records on mixtape stuff and on like industry beats. And so when it came time for me to do it on original records, it took me so long because I had to rediscover my voice. I didn't know what my sound was. And so once I like the first year of making a project, like starting the project, I probably only came out with 2 songs. And none of those songs on the project because I was like so frustrated, like, yo, maybe I'm not cut out for this rapping thing because of this. You know, I can't put together a song with an original beat. But then, you know, I just kept working at it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I just kept working on it. And so, the sound of the project, I feel like it's really me. And then the thing about, you know, me is this, I really can't even put a finger on my style.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like I can do pretty much anything. So I just kind of let it flow. I didn't put myself in a box when it came to this project.
Cool. I'm gonna say it just like this. I really do enjoy listening to you spit, like real talk, and I don't say it lightly. If you could tell, most of the time you could tell that I don't like it. You know,
right? It's facial expression to do, right?
I listen to it.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, okay.
Keep going, young blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, but I actually every verse, every time I stop, like, yo, this dude. Every time Today I was driving, and I'm like, yo. It was a verse you spit a couple weeks ago with the dude with the mask on. It was like a couple months ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that joint, man, that was tough.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, just all that. Like, I'm like, I really feel you. I really like, yo, you're dope, man. Real dope, man.
I try to I used to spend so much time on bars. Like I used to concentrate on every line. Got to be a dope bar. But, yo, that's exhausting, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, Drew's laughing because he going through that process. I'm like, yo, just let it fly. Like, every line is not going to be, that's crazy. But just had a conversation. Like, a lot of time when I listen to music or when I listen to a beat, I'm just running. I just let the beat play. And I let the beat kind of dictate the cadence, the style. And I just go mumbling on the beat. And then the words come later. Because I'm not forcing. I can't force. If I'm forcing myself on a beat, I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stop because it's gonna make me feel like I can't do it. So I would just stop and just recalibrate. But so yeah, that's kind of the process when you're writing a song and things like that.
Dope. Okay. I'm gonna do something that I love doing to people who rap. I want to hear your favorite bar.
Ooh. Favorite bar
on a project and or that you think you've written before.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Give me a couple of them.
All right. What's my favorite bar? And always gonna be the new ones that pop into your head.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's a tough one. I'm over here looking at Tim. I'm like, yo, feed me. I'm trying to think of a bar. Man, I say so many words.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you one. I think I wrote it today. I think I wrote it today. You know what? I'll give you this one. All right. You on the pause?
Okay. All right. So, what's your favorite verse that you wrote? You wrote. This is your favorite verse. What is your top?
Yeah, there's so many songs. I'm never gonna be able to figure out what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, one of the songs I've been living with is the Down on My Knees record.
Mm-hmm. It's
just so much like elements of truth in there for me, especially being a person of faith, like being a man of faith. It's probably one of my most like. It's not super deep maybe to somebody else, but for me, it's really compelling. It's a part in the song that says, "I've been lukewarm for a very long time. I've been in the storm for a very long time. If I don't take heed to these very strong signs, I'll be on my way to hell in a very long line."
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you ever grew up in the church, man, you know that there's you walk a fine line, and it's like a duality. Like, you're one person on Sunday, and you back to ratchet on Monday. Just what we humans, and then especially when you don't understand, complexity of like a relationship, right? So that record right there, and that line right there was powerful. For me, it meant something to me because I know that it's a constant battle, it's a constant struggle, and we go over these. We know in our heads exactly what we should be doing, what we should do, what we should be saying, how we should be. But it's that struggle to get there. And, ultimately, if you don't right the ship, man, it's how it ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite records. And on that song, I deal with a lot of church ideals of this is easy. Being saved is easy. And it's not true. It's really not true, man, because you got so many pulls.
Mm-hmm.
You got so many draws in different directions. And to tell somebody that's easy is misleading.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't lie to you like that because I know it's not easy. It's a fine line you got to walk. And you sometimes you're going to get things thrown at you that you weren't anticipating. But you got to be able to stay firm in it. So it's... And then a lot of things too. There's a lot of condemnation. Mm-hmm. People's ideals and people's their projection. They project these things on you that they're afraid of, and they project these ideals that they grew up hearing. They learned these things when they came up, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Says who? Like, what's real? Is this right or wrong? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I talk a lot about that because. Man, if you ever grew up in I'm already gonna say the exact denomination, but it's very traditional, right? It's very traditional, and they got these ideals. They have these ideals, and I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same way in other denominations, but in this one in particular, man, it's man, I'm not looking for shock value, right? So in this particular one, man, there's these certain ideals, and then you grow up. Thinking that you're in this box, in this world, and the world is this open space, and you think that you can find to these things and doing this thing. I got to do this Tuesday night, Friday night. We back in there building fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we know. Like, but it's about really having a relationship with God personally.
Yeah.
But it's also about impacting people and being able to go out there and, you know, introduce people to the light, you know what I mean, to Jesus. So it's not about coming to my church, because, yo, that's my biggest gripe, man. Like, I'm so tired of being invited to people's churches. Like, yo, my church is lit. Like, don't give me it. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me the youth pastor look. You know, you got youth pastors coming out here with joggers and, hey, what's up, guys? Like, don't give me that spiel, man. Like, be real. You know what I mean? Be real with me and tell me the things that are going to help me in life and the things that I need to know. I don't need to know that your church is popping. I don't need to know that your choir is jumping. I didn't know who Jesus is, man. Like, cause you can't change me. You can scare me straight, but that's not gonna ultimately change me, because I'm a human being and I'm gonna be who I am when I leave this church. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is.
It's funny. I feel people. If I can be honest with you, I think that when it comes down to the church and really looking at the Bible, there's a lot that we can learn from a lot of the characters, because even the people in the Old Testament and even the New Testament, a lot of the greatest accomplishments weren't in the church.
Absolutely.
They were outside the church, and they were called to do certain things, like Jeremiah. Jeremiah was called to build a wall.
Right.
And
it's not glamorous.
Just to build a wall.
Just build a wall, buddy.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, but what he did was he the Bible says that. I'm sorry, I gotta go there for a second.
Go.
The Bible says that the very last verse of Jeremiah chapter 1, he says, I'm just a cupbearer of the king.
Right.
As if he's like, I'm just that. But he said, look, I was called, he had the burden of the Lord on his life, which means he had the vision that God gave him to build this wall, which provided protection and a whole lot of other things for the people of Israel.
Right.
So if he didn't build that wall, the protection and everyone else to coming down the line behind him would have never happened if he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Everybody plays a role. No matter how minuscule somebody might think it is. Yeah. Everybody plays a role, and nobody's the superstar.
No.
You know, we think that these guys that's on the stages or these mega church pastors are like superstars. And we got to be careful with idolizing people in these types of positions, because, it's misleading. They're not perfect people. And then when you see a person that's on a pedestal fall, it's wow. I can't believe it. You can't believe that a human being made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's because we put these people on these high pedestals, and that's what happens. And so, like, that's the one thing, because everybody wants to be or feel significant, not knowing that your service matters. Doesn't matter how big or small it seems. It may not be. It may be to pick up stuff off the floor, like whatever it is. Like, you play a role. You know what I mean? You play a role, and your role matters, especially if your calling came directly from God. Like, you better do it with a smile and do it with joy, because the fact that you got an assignment. Like, I remember being in class, man. Like, in school, like, you would love when the teacher asks you to do something. I wasn't no teacher, Pat, obviously, but like, when a teacher asks you to do something or call on you to do something, you feel like, I got a responsibility. I got a job. I have a role. That's one thing about, kids these days, man. They want to feel important, man. They want something to, they want to feel these voices, man. And a lot of kids are dealing with that feeling insignificant. That's why you see kids committing suicide and doing all these things, because they have no hope. They don't feel like, what is their hope? You know what I mean? Because if they don't have anything to look forward to, it's over. It's a wrap. Yeah. Social media, they said something bad about me, like, that's it. They think that's the parameters of their life. The cell phone and Instagram, and so they need to feel significant. Like, my life matters, and what I have to offer matters. And when you do have a relationship with God, like, you have a role, you have an assignment, and your assignment and your role matters to people, whether you realize it or not. But it's up to you to get up and find out what those things are and what that role is and what that job is. And for me personally, I was always trying to figure out what my role was because everybody would tell you, yeah, it's music, 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 right? But what? Like, because it's not about me. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I have a gift, I have a talent, but it's not just to be paraded and praised to make money. You know, that's all we know. That's all we know is celebrity. And we think that it's all about us and it's all about gain and what I can get from this. But really, you got to look, yo, I asked myself a question today. I was just sitting in my car and I was like, yo, it was an ugly day today. You know, I was like, yo, I wonder what God is thinking. What is he thinking? Because we got these presumptions like, oh, God is pleased. God is, you straight. I went to church. I clap my hands. God is, he's happy. What does he really think? You know what I mean? What does he really think about me? What does he really feel about what's going on? And so when you start asking those questions, you don't feel so good all the time. You know what I mean? It's not one of those things like, yeah, I'm going to pat yourself on the back. Like, you can't validate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so I think people have to be more conscious of that. You know what I'm saying?
That's good talk. Good talk.
Went there.
That was important. Definitely because people need to understand who BroVA is.
Right.
Are we asking that question? What does BroVA mean?
BroVA is it's two parts. Bro being Brooklyn, where I'm from, Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from, and the VA is the VA, where I reside, right?
Yeah.
And you know, before I was just looking for a new rap name, right? As most things that you do, you don't really think about why you do it. You just want to do it. Because I had some of the craziest rap names before. But as my name is actually, actually reflects my real life. Like it's been a transition in my mentality and physically. Like I moved from Brooklyn, New York to Virginia. My life actually changed in those two different places. Right? I feel like I was born in Brooklyn, but I was reborn in Virginia. Like my life really changed here. And so I can't what I look like saying I'm all Brooklyn, hey, yo, New York, no, but I've been here for 20-something years. You know what I mean? But I also cannot forget about where I came from and where I spent all my summers and where all my family is and, where my roots are. So you can't forget neither. And that's the thing, man. You can't suppress who you are. You know what I mean? And so BroVA is just about transition. And the thing about transition is it's about giving people hope, right? Giving people hope that where I'm at currently, I don't always have to stay there. Like I might be in a dark place. I don't always have to stay there. Like, there's always hope on the other side. And so that's what I try to provide, man, like in my music. It's not as it's bad, but it's not as bad. It don't have to stay bad. It don't have to stay this way. Like there's other people that's going through what you're going through. And nobody wants to hear that what you're going through is, I'm going through something worse. Nobody wants to hear that when they're going through something. But they just want to know that, can I get through this? You know what I mean? Is this it for me? Like, you know what I'm saying? They just want to know that there's some hope somewhere. There's some light somewhere. Right. And so that's what I try to provide. And I just think my name, I always want to change my name. Like, my middle name is Lamar. Like, I could be Brian Lamar, like Kish Lamar. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I always just stuck with that name because it's just it symbolizes a lot.
Dope. Okay. All right. Let's ask some good questions. All right. We're gonna talk about favorites.
Ooh.
All right. We want to talk about favorites. All right. So we got the album out the way. The album is coming out April 19th. Name is what's the name of it again?
All Ideas Die in the Grave.
All Ideas Die in the Grave.
Right.
We're gonna talk about favorites. All right. Give me your favorite food.
Ooh. Alright, it's only two. I love pizza and I love spaghetti.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who cooks the best spaghetti?
My wife.
Yeah.
My wife, yo, she took the cake from my mom. My mom had it.
Oh,
she took the cake, and I had to
Love you, Mom.
I had to respectfully, yo, Mom, she got you on this. She got you on the spaghetti this time.
That's what's up. Okay, favorite food, favorite fast food.
Favorite fast food. Ooh, Chipotle is considered fast food.
Yeah, it is.
Chick-fil-A, Chipotle.
Yeah,
Chipotle.
Okay, Chipotle.
Chipotle, man.
Okay. Favorite place you ever been?
Favorite place I ever been? I love Florida. I love Myrtle Beach. I've been to the Bahamas once, but I didn't really get to feel full culture of it. Favorite place? New York, man.
New
It
York,
has to be New York City.
that's what the
man.
fam is. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite candy?
Lifesaver gummies, man.
Lifesaver gummy?
Me and my brother got that thing about Lifesaver gummies, man. He's like a connoisseur of like Lifesavers. Like Lifesaver gummies, the collision kind.
The collision
Let's
kind?
be clear. Let's be clear.
The
yeah.
collision kind. Got you. Okay. That's the one that like different like
The different one,
like,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like half and half.
The half, yeah.
Got
The half and half.
Okay. Okay, favorite moment.
Favorite moment. That's all right. That's tough.
It's a lot of them. I know
It's a lot of moments.
Yeah.
I could say being married.
Yeah.
You know, getting married to my wife, and the birth of my son. Shoot, I can't pick. There's so many moments like people don't feel appreciated when you say, "Oh, that's your favorite moment." What about this time? You don't remember that?
You went the best route though. When you
I took the safe route. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. Okay. So we got the favorite moments out the way. What are the goals? What are the things that are coming up? It's coming up for BroVA and the fam. What we got going on?
Man, it's a lot because I do a lot of like planning. I do a lot of writing down things, and some things kind of like I try to like start things or break and go full forward. But sometimes you gotta put things aside on the back burner and accomplish the things that you need to do first. But down the pipe, definitely want to do some more performing and touring and speaking engagements, because I think that like outside of the music, like people need to understand what I'm saying, why I'm saying what I'm saying. You know, speaking engagements, the clothing line, that's already been in the works. We started that. We worked a lot over the summer on that.
You got the name already? Can we release the name or no?
87.
87?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not the clothing line.
That's
I got
the group.
distracted.
Yeah.
That's the group.
Yeah.
The clothing line it's a combination. The parent company is called Maison Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Maison means house in French. Lamar is my middle name, which means of the sea, so house of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Under that, there's House Fresco, there's Dirty Clothes, there's American Golf. This is a whole there's a whole lot of stuff under it.
You got going on. All right.
But outside of that, man, 2019 is really all about 87 and focusing on trying to take things further for the artists and for the producers and everyone that's involved, because we've been working on this for like years. Like it took us a long time to get to a point of release, from a launching point. So we want to do our due diligence and really give all of the projects, from Non Parole's project, which he just dropped today,
Salute.
to Drew, who's on the way. Elmar Keys, always working. Kent is also an artist in his own right, and he's also a producer, and myself. So like, we want to make sure that we give a concentrated effort. You know, we don't want to throw things out haphazardly, because I know what that feels like to put someone's work into something, release it, and it doesn't have the feel that you want it to have. And so like, just this 2019 and beyond, it's really about taking steps with 87 and possibly maybe a compilation project, maybe some other things on the pipe. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm looking forward to.
Right. Well, you know what? I pray, and for real, I want to see you guys make it. I want to see this album make it, because I really believe in this album. I only heard a few of them. Listen, I'm trying to tell you right now, I'm putting it right up there in the top one, the top.
I appreciate
everybody from the crew. Real talk.
Yes,
I really respect all of you guys, man, my prayers are for you, man. I know you're gonna be blessed. Whatever you want, go get it.
Absolutely,
whatever you
man.
want, go get it, man. But I appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having
yes,
me, man.
Sir.
Thank
It's been
you
a pleasure
for doing this interview, and I can't wait for everything to drop.
Absolutely, man.
April 19th. April 19th.
That's the date. And also, man, I appreciate this interview, man. You're a godsend, man. Like, first of all, I've never been in an interview like this before, man.
Really?
This is very in-depth, very intimate. This is dope, man. And I see big things on the horizon for you, man. So I appreciate it, man. Absolutely.
That's love.
All right,
man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.